All right, so yet another decider here. Best of 5. Winner moves into golds. That would be huge for both of these guys. I think it could even maybe fall into the category of the best accomplishment in their career. With some other players, they've been around doing some different things, but Uzzi's been improving the last couple years. This is a player who has been around a very long time, by the way. A player that I remember from years past. Antagonist has more of that new feel. I think he's younger. Early 20s, has been massively improving over the last couple years. But Antagonist was our 1 seed. So he was the player who's the better tournament results, better rankings coming into this, and according to the group, would be in the final. And he is. He's gone for the way here to start it all off. And we've got Uzzi. Uzzi's playing as the Shu. So the thing about Uzzi is I find he's a player who really thrives with a lot of different units. That's something I find about him. Some people, they'll make as few units as possible. They'll get max value from those units, and then they'll invest into eco. That is like, I guess, like the optimal play at the very highest level. It's what you want to try and do, is get the most from as little investment as possible. Uzzi, games can be kind of messy. And he is not opposed to making a additional spearman or 2, or having a slightly later castle age time. So I think that'll be the difference between the two of them. That is going to be translated in the home maps for Uzzi. He's picked some hybrid maps where a lot of chaos can happen. Antagonist has picked maps that are more land focused. But Shu for Uzzi. So we've got 2 DLC civs here. We've been seeing a lot of Shu. We've been seeing a lot of Wei. We may see slightly less of them in the future if they receive a nerf, because both these civs seem to be pretty strong. Of course, there are bans, and other civs have been banned out. So a civ like Mongols has never played, never seen. That civ's been around forever, just because all the hunts and whatnot. So, but it's an interesting map because, I mean, a lot of players have gone fast feudal on it. Played scouts, played archers, but here, this could just be fast castle now for some of them. I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to do that now, but we had a game yesterday where we saw fast castle, and I remember a couple before that. So, T90 quick. What will be the score of your Vikings versus Bears games today? Oh, dude, I don't know. Don't count on the Vikings to do anything good. Count on the Vikings to keep it close and break my heart at the end of the day. And if the Vikings actually win the game, that is only so they can break my heart in future weeks. That's how I feel about being a Vikings fan. Unfortunately, the Minnesota Vikings don't get free wheelbarrow and handcart, so their mid game's kind of crap. So it's not the same as AoE2, unfortunately. Don't love the lumber camp here from Uzzi, but this is just a result of the fact he was pushing deer. You could always place the second one, but that's really not a good spot for it. I guess both players kind of have a crap first lumber camp. But I think Antagonist will build the second one. This is a better wood line for him, and he's scouted it now. The Shu have the easier game to play here because they get that little food income boost from bringing in wood, which you're going to do naturally anyways. So they should have this slightly better eco in that way. But the Wei, they get more villagers once they get the eco techs. And with this type of builds, you're almost always going to get at least 2 eco techs. So that's a nice little 2 villager lead here. Scouts here from Antagonist. Finds the little ravine. Knows the TC will be on the hill, and he's just looping around. And then scouts here as well from Uzzi. And same deal. Just they know that the opponent's base is going to be there. T90, are there any tournaments where it's 1 versus 1 versus 1? No, there's not. I mean, I've done some free-for-all events, which are diplomacy, so I'd recommend checking out Regicide Rumble. That's not 3 people, though. And maybe I'm overlooking. There's a lot of different events that happen here or there, but no, like, depends, I guess, what size of event you're thinking of. Uzzi comes back home, gets some early snipes. He's in feudal age a little bit faster, so get some hits there. Needs to get to the top of the hill again. And it's very close. I think they're both 3 hits. And Uzzi backs away. So it's actually, even though it's 10 HP versus 6, they're both 2 hits now away from going down. Because it's 5 damage a hit. Not worth the risk, though, there if you're Uzzi. Stable for both, but they're building up pretty far away from their base. Especially Uzzi. All his eco is super far back here. And if their plan is to full wall here, this might take a little bit of work. Spearman gets the hit there. Nice start for Uzzi. He'll be happy with that. Uzzi will see the stable. I don't think that will be a surprise. I do think that Antagonist needs to know what his opponent is opening with. Because the Shu are an archer civ, not a scout civ. So not getting that intel here does really hurt the opening. And now we have a fast archer range. So it's like almost as advertised. Uzzi likes lots of army really fast. Uzzi's not necessarily a guy to streamline things and stay on one unit type for too long. But he's got a really nice build so far. Lots of scouts in queue. Archer range is there. Now Antagonist will see the buildings. And he'll see the stable and the archer range. He'll be like, what? It's pretty crazy. And he didn't know it was going to be scouts until just now. So this whole casual wall he was building up, not possible. And Uzzi with a really nice start. But nice quick wall there from Antagonist. The scouts from Uzzi will want to have some support at some point. But I like the thinking there. He sees there's an opportunity. He wants to go for it. That's some nice confidence from Antagonist, though, to just fight that back with Vils. You'll see a lot more of that. Archers and spears going to come forward now as well from Uzzi. Yeah, I don't know when it's realistic for me to do the next Regicide Rumble. Titans League is a lot. There could be some LAN events. There's a lot in the works. I have to do a 24-hour stream. There's no shortage of things that I'm trying to do for you guys. So and for the community. So we'll see on that. But thanks for saying you enjoyed it. And it's obviously exciting to see people want more of it. I love this opening from Uzzi. Now, this could all fall apart very quickly. You normally skip out on a bunch of farms. Look, he doesn't have any farms right now. So it's like big army numbers all the time. And Antagonist knows he's going to be streaming reinforcements forward. And he'll get the pick off of the spear. And he could maybe get the pick off of the archer there. And he keeps these walls up. Look at how fast the eco transition is for Antagonist. Farms are going to be key. So this is the downside of this type of play is if your army gets stopped once, it becomes a very smooth game for the opponent from there. And Antagonist has done a really nice job. Houses have blocked off enough. Archer range is on the way up behind this. And he just parks his army here. Just parks his army here. He knows there's going to be more units coming forward. And he could get it again. This is twice now. Now, if you would have waited for 2 spears, 2 archers, maybe that's a better fight. But Antagonist just looking like he's so cool under this pressure. Still has to be very careful not to overchop this wood line. But still the army hasn't gotten through. And now his army could run over this way, get into Uzzi's base. Now Uzzi is adding some farms, but Uzzi will have to defend. It just feels like all Antagonist is going to do now is just wall this and have a couple skirmers behind to hold. This army can't even batter on the door anymore because of the skirmisher timing. That's really sick stuff. And look at the farm count, man. That's crazy. 12 farms already. Of course, has additional villagers. Spears are coming back home to defend. Antagonist looking super sharp and super confident. Yeah, I don't know if I talked about my prediction at the start of the cast. I'd say 3-1 for Antagonist today feels realistic. I think the theme will be very similar, where Uzzi tries to make it really messy early, and Antagonist essentially tries to hold from the chaos. But Antagonist feels like, you know, it's close to that level that you're seeing in gold, you're seeing in platinum. And it's also just, the part of it for me, too, is how long has a player been around? Obviously adds a lot. If a player's been around for a very long time, that adds some positives. Like, Antagonist is pretty fresh to the scene compared to even someone like Uzzi. Like, I remember playing Uzzi 10 years ago. And, oh my god. Oh, that could have been so much worse. The scouts get out of there now. Uzzi's still looping in more army. Still no fletching, but that's on the way, and he's going to move this way. Antagonist just hoping the wall, hoping to get to Castle Age. Gold's on the back, wood's on the back, farms are up. You can see the army here. He doesn't have fletching on his skirms, doesn't even have that many skirms. He's just really confident with his numbers. Takes a very nice fight from Uzzi, and Uzzi just runs directly into those scouts. You look away for a second to do anything. And obviously there's a lot to do, especially now because he needs to be adding those farms. You could just have such big problems, man. There's still a hole there for Antagonist. And he needs the house. He gets it at the perfect time there. The scouts loop around. But I think with the scouts so weak for Uzzi, maybe Antagonist just puts an end to this finally. He's been chasing this army around for a while. Now he's got this army exactly where he wants him. He's got it cornered. That's quite a few spearmen, though, from Uzzi. Oh, the scouts are still there. Uzzi takes a really nice fight. Yeah, I mean, think just the fact that he always had an extra spearman has been really strong for him, and Uzzi just continues with the numbers. Guys, I'm telling you. Okay, I played Uzzi so many freaking times. He's always got like 1 or 2 extra units than the average player does. And the cool thing here is his Castle Age time is also really good. What I feel is going to be awkward is this range. Like, if he wants to build a second range, what do? You build it behind here. Then when you try and send units forward from both, they're kind of separate from each other. So the wall's not a bad thing. I guess the gate's going to help with that. And okay, that answers the question. But that aspect is a little bit awkward. Antagonist tried to get by with low numbers, and he was essentially punished for it there. Zico is still slightly ahead, but I mean, slightly. And the Shu eco gets even better, because where do you build your second town centers? On wood. What do you get more food from? Chopping wood. So, the Shu economy feels at its strongest in, well, the more you have on wood, right? So the longer the game goes. But it really, you can really spend that food a lot in Castle Age. Such a crazy army here. Crazy army. And the scout's not very strong, I guess, but still the archers have the hill. And Uzzi's like, game 1, man. I gotta win this series. I'm not giving up this hill. I'm not giving you a shot. I'd love to see a siege workshop. Like, siege workshop on the hill where the outpost used to be would be so sick. Since he built the stone gate, he didn't end up being able to... Oof, that could be a problem. But he didn't end up... or he won't have the stone to build 3 TCs. He'll only be able to build the second one. But he's getting Bodkin. He's getting Crossbow. He is building the Siege Workshop. Antagonist is up as well. Really fun game to start. Antagonist is going to go Skirms. And he's going to go for the Janbes. This is the way that people have been playing with this Civ. It really has been the Janbei we've seen more of than anything. We haven't seen the Tiger Cav. We haven't seen like the Haig Wong units out of the stable. Now the skirms are great until the siege shows up. And Uzzi's got that siege coming now. Uzzi's hole isn't going to be an issue most likely, but man, there's just so much micro happening here. So much army. It fully depends on how the micro goes and how these fights end up playing out. I mean, the thing about Janbes is they're pretty weak against siege compared to a Cav Archer. So it's not like if the micro is good that you could potentially still just split micro those. Uzzi kills his own units. Sorry, Spearman, but he kills his own units again. That probably needs to be something he improves on. The Spearmen are no big deal, but it's super easy to just click a building like that and do splash damage. Those spears were talking trash about the siege. But we're at that level where those tiny things will happen every now and then. There's so many other things to manage. Second TC's up on the back for Antagonist. Or sorry, for Uzzi. Actually would like to see Uzzi make some war chariots here. I think this is a really good spot for War Chariots. But War Chariot's such a unique unit, and no one really understands how they work yet. Only time you're seeing people make War Chariots is that all they make is War Chariots. They don't make anything else. This could get tough for Uzzi to come back. Uzzi lands a nice attack round, though. Antagonist thinks he can take down the Mangonels. This is not a Cav Archer when it comes to sniping Siege. And, oh my god! Uzzi with the hill. Uzzi says, who's the underdog here? This is crazy pressure, man. This is crazy. Antagonist. He just can't keep up with this guy. There's so much army from Uzzi all the time. It never stops. I love the confidence, man. I love it. So many crossbows. Now, can you fix the eco at the same time? Can you be fully walled, right? One counterattack can completely undo you. He's checking for holes in his walls. He sees the units coming over. He has a hole here, and he's going to place the university there. What a move. The house would actually get denied. The university, it gives you more time. Now, he's still pushing forward here, and he does know there's a siege workshop, so he doesn't want to get hit by one mangonel. A hole in his base, and he'd be dead. But he found that one. This is still okay. And he's going to shift away from the siege workshop, because if he were to go through here, he's going up the hill, which is really bad. Nice shot from Antagonist, by the way. Antagonist is still in this game. Obviously, he hasn't won some fights. But he's still got a lot of Jean-Bays. And the Jean-Bays are great against the crossbows. It's just awkward against the siege. Not bad against the siege, per se. It's awkward. I don't know how Uzzi walled all this whole time. That's crazy. Uzzi's just taking the patient approach now. Taking down the houses, taking down the archer ranges. He will see the Jean-Bays are here now, so he can finish the university. And he also sees the siege from Antagonist. The Antagonist is swarming. And the siege is there. The Jean-Bays are there as well. The micro from Antagonist is better. He's really confident with this now with these numbers. He feels like this is going to be enough for him. His Mangonel gets hit, though. The other Mangonels are still firing and landing some pretty big shots. And that's a great engagement for Uzzi. I mean, that is a fine trade. You take down a Mangonel, you lose two, and you barely lose a crossbow. Still, just 2 TCs for both players. Another big shot, man. Crazy, crazy micro. And now the 3rd TC for Antagonist. Uzzi's crossbows that were at home near the wall, they get found. But yeah, these units are not good against Mangonels. People need to go Mangonels against this more frequently. People are used to players with Cav Archers sniping this. This is a conversation I had recently. I actually think they're way more vulnerable to siege. If these were Cav Archers, they're taking down the Mangonels. It's crazy what that 1 HP difference makes. And then also they have less HP. Sorry, they have 1 less attack, but then they have less HP overall compared to a Cav Archer. Uzzi moving forward. Uzzi has ballistics now. The Jean-Bays want in. Normally, there's a mistake. Normally, there's a hole somewhere. Uzzi is completely locked in right now. I'm really impressed. The Jean-Bays are still swarming all around. Siege micro needs to be perfect. It still somehow is. And Uzzi... Oh, man, he's not able to get the kills. He does get the kill. He's microing down the Mangonel there. Looks like he's saving up for Imp. And if he clicks soon, and he keeps his army alive, this could be good. But obviously, he needs a bigger army. He clicks up to Imp. He loses his siege. Now is when the Jean-Bays are going to be much stronger. The Jean-Bays versus the crossbows are going to be more than fine. And I'm a little bit worried for Uzzi. Just a little bit. Because you're going to go Imp, but with what army? And it's 3 TCs for Antagonist. Antagonist has the villager lead. Antagonist has cleared it. 3 TCs are pumping. Only 90 seconds of TC idle time. He's got a lot of army. And Uzzi is going to mass up and I think just sit behind his walls and wait for Imp now, essentially. But I just don't think you can get all the upgrades you want. If any civ can do it, it would be the shoe, because archer range and blacksmith costs are discounted. Like getting chemistry, arbalest, bracer. That's a lot of food and gold needed. It's going to be tough. We'll add the third TC. Gold availability is also kind of tough for Uzzi. He only has this gold back here long term, which he's not really even on just yet. I would have loved to see Antagonist follow this up with a siege push onto these houses. Feel like there's been a moment for that, but he's just going to boom right now. 15 villager lead. What a hold from Antagonist, by the way. I've been impressed with Uzzi, but the fact that Antagonist hasn't been broken by this is crazy. Also, hello, MBL. Thanks for watching. That's so funny. Uzzi had a good Mangonel micro. And someone in chat says, Uzzi equals MBL question mark? And MBL, I don't think, said anything else in chat today. He was watching, and he says, please don't insult me. That's funny. Freaking MBL, dude. MBL's like, calling me Uzzi. Come on. Oh, that's so good. That poor chatter, man. He had no clue MBL was watching. Well, that's a big army. And the forward siege workshop is making a traction treb. So he's going to push forward here. And at least we'll have chemistry. At least we'll have bracer. I think if he idles his TCs for a second, he can get Arbalest. And I think it's worth it. I mean, this worries me. You probably need a gate there. He'll do that. Yeah, here he comes. Antagonist is like, oh, crap. Oh, crap. What is about to push my base right now? Obviously, he knows what it is, but he knows it's going to be painful. Towers are not a bad play if you can complete them. Towers will complete, but now the Jean Bays come in, and the Jean Bays are going to dive for this. I mean, it's not Arbalest yet, but the range difference is insane, and the upgrade difference is going to matter here. The traction trebs here immediately. The traction treb on the hill should be able to melt that tower along the front. Antagonist 3 minutes away from the Imperial Age. Has a good economy, but is he going to have the military to beat this? If Uzzi goes forward castle right now, oh, dude, he's playing so good. It's exactly how you need to play it. No defensive castles. You don't waste any time. You have the tech advantage now, and you need to force the issue. Uzzi, not the player that I was expecting to be freaking out about at the start of the series. Not going to lie to you. Antagonist being the 1 seed, I expected to say a lot of good things about him today, and maybe I still will, but Uzzi takes the first game, and it was just by sheer aggression. So many archers, lots of army and feudal age, and the castle age time was great. This castle is obviously going to complete. He was going to mop up all of this. The traction trebs would take down the TCs and everything. And Uzzi takes game number 1. That was clean. Guys, like, the walling, it feels weird to say the walling is impressive, but to have that aggression, delay your farms that long, and then have to add them, and then also get every single area walled up. Every time he was exposed, he filled the gap. Anytime he needed to move in and out, he added a stone gate. Like, that is really hard to do. And how many houses are part of these walls? Never mind. I'm not going to count them. That's too many to count. That's a waste of my time. That's a waste of your time. But it must be like 25 houses or something. And every little nook and cranny. That was clean. So, Uzzi, yeah, good KD. Starts off strong. I think we have a series on our hands. We've got Antagonists going for the Mayans here. So, we saw Mayans one other time on this map. That was actually in a series yesterday. That was Mayans against Hindustanis. This isn't your typical pick. Typically, you're seeing lots of scout civs and knight civs and like camel civs. Mayans can't do that. But Antagonist Archer Micro is pretty ridiculous, and his macro is pretty good too, so maybe he wants to play towards crossbowmen. But Khmer are definitely your more standard pick here for Uzzi. The map, there's a lot of deer on. Everyone can guess how many deer are here if you are so inclined. I'm going to guess 80... 88? There's 102. Damn it. I have not even close. So yeah, pushing in the deer is going to be a lot of what the Dark Age is about. You will also have the swamp aspect. And, oh, wow. Uzzi's already here? Uzzi is already here. So he's going insta-dock with Khmer, and Khmer don't have any wood savings. And he's going to chop straggler trees now. Wow. This is an interesting build. He did something similar on Acropolis. There he had Incas. That was in a series against Nahuel. Really good best of 5. But the straggler trees have 151 wood. And most maps just have 100 wood on each tree. So you have more wood that you can work with. And it's an interesting way to start here. I think especially if you don't want to like make fire ships and you don't want to do any of that long term, maybe just take the fish early and then you can just give it up later because there's not going to be as much available for antagonists to take. Okay, chat. Can you not, like, I'm happy that we have the channel points, okay? But my mods work as volunteers, okay? And the channel points have 0 reward. There's nothing you can do to spend it on. I get it's fun. But can we take a chill pill if my mods don't deal with it, like, immediately, possibly? Like, I'm here. I'm talking about the build orders. I'm, like, super nerd mode. It's ever so semi demotivating for me. I'm just saying, it's not that big a deal. But, like, you know, just remember, like, I didn't have the channel points for a while because I didn't want them to be annoying. So, you know. Maybe I shouldn't have put thought into it, but I don't know why the trees are 151. It's a bit of a weird thing. I think with the way it was described to me is it was the scripter who did it originally years back. Normal acacia trees have 150. Obviously, that extra 1 wood on each tree doesn't make a big difference, but extra 50 wood on each tree does. Antagonist is aware of the docks, all the 2 villagers there. Uzzi with Khmer built the house there, so he was able to just hop inside the house. And so he's had a pretty nice start. I mean, the weakness of the Mayans is they have a slow start. The strength of the Khmer already, without this build, is they have a fast start with the really fast stable. So I like the builds here, man. I think it's good. Uzzi is worrying me here with his food income. I'm going to assume that he's done the math here. But he shifted a lot to wood pretty early. I'm wondering if he's able to click up yet. I guess he hasn't brought in his second boar yet. He'll be fine. Yeah, now just checking the food in the middle. There's only... I mean, we're pretty early into the game, and there's only like 650 left. And these villagers and these fishing ships might bring in another 200 or so food, maybe 300 or so food before there's going to be any aggression here. Look, he's even taking the fish from the villagers the antagonist has here. So now the Bills can't take the fish there. That's funny. I love stuff like that. I mean, there's no way that was an accident, right? It's smart. I wonder if the Vills on the front will do something for this attack. Also wondering if we'll see either player go to gold. He is going to go to gold. Okay. So I would assume scouts, just because there's not a ton of food out here, but we've seen the middle pond be really valuable. Mayans, I would expect to go to gold. Mayans, I would think, would want to go archers anyways. So wood and gold is perfect for that, and then you can throw in the occasional fire galley. Okay, Uzzi's going to run away with the Vills. And Uzzi scouting for Antagonist base. Remember, Antagonist home map here. And he is the favorite. But Uzzi has clearly been cooking. I was really impressed, even with the strats that he had in the previous round. This feels a little bit weird to say, but if you lose the previous round, you're still in silver. And if you win it and lose here, you're also in silver. So while the previous round gets you here, there was the thought process to maybe hide all your favorite strats for this round, which some players did. But in Uzzi's case, he had a lot of cool strats in the previous rounds. which in theory would maybe show his hand if he only had so many. Nice hits there from him. Antagonist has no clue what Uzzi's doing, by the way. This is the weakness of the Mayans. This is why I don't like Mezzo here. You can't... You spend a lot of time pushing deer, and then you can't scout early to know what your opponent's going to do. It is going to be stable, and Uzzi... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, Uzzi's going to sort this out, and he'll finish off the board and just be fine. It's probably looking here, because the fire galley came out. Fishing ship didn't actually go down yet. There's an eagle here. There's a spearman here. Things will be pretty messy. And I think Antagonist might even send his Vil there. But the fire galley's moved away on this side. Yeah, Villager's just going to repair. More fire galleys will come out. There's only 117 salmon there, so... Antagonist has a nice start after all. Killing off the fish. But will he be able to fish long term? I don't know. 0 kills for Uzzi. But he's got his scouts ready to go. He obviously knows where to go as well. And Antagonist... This doesn't really have the walls up just yet. It's like he doesn't know it's going to be scouts, right? He's not expecting the scout timing. Or maybe he is, but Uzzi's there. That's perfect micro from Uzzi. Look at him pull away the scouts as well. Man, he's... Some of the like highest level players that might be watching are going to be like, oh, T90, that's expected. That was not an MBL impression. But still, that's clean micro. There's a lot of other things to look at. And he might hop out with a fire here. Forces some quick walls. Antagonist gets the nice quick walls. Still some exposed eco over here. And Uzzi says, I'll group up perfectly again and get another Vil kill. Thank you. He sticks around for it. And he gets away. It's a nice start. Also has archers behind. So Antagonist knows there's scouts. He'll also know there's archers. This is going to be another game with a lot of army from Uzzi. Notice it's the same theme for Antagonist. He's staying on like one unit for as long as possible and really trying to max out there. But I'm seeing some nerves, guys. I think he's been... You know the saying, everyone gets has a plan until you get punched in the mouth? He's been punched in the mouth here, and I'm seeing him get housed every once in a while. Seeing like really overqueuing Vils, which tells me the nerves might be a little high. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Uzzi right now. He's going to go for another range now? 2 ranges and the stable? Crazy. Face, not mouth. Okay, but if you look at someone's face, do you not see their mouth? Whatever. Same difference. I'm sorry, chat, but it's really not that big of a difference in the saying. Either way, again, the issue for Antagonist, he doesn't know where that army is going to come from. It's just surprising, like, this being wide open is wild to me. I would expect the walls to be up already. I would wall this first. His army is moving forward for the time being, but, oh, man, the archers are here from Uzzi. Archers without fletching, though. Still can get some damage done, but archers without fletching means that he might end up missing out on an opportunity here. He's focusing on the fights right now. This is actually not horrible for Antagonist. Antagonist has enough archers to maybe kill this. Now Uzzi's getting fletching. And Antagonist with the quick walls has the army coming back home. Gets everything surrounded here. And if this is going to be an archer battle, Antagonist will be very happy with that trade. Like we said in the first game, right? You go for the heavy army numbers. You make one mistake. And then the opponent can punish you. And that was a bit of a mistake there from Uzzi. Antagonist is up to Castle Age. Uses the market. And his archers are going to march forward now. And Uzzi's nowhere near. I mean, he made scouts. He's making skirms now. That's still a really impressive time from Antagonist. He's got 2 farms. He took a lot of deer. I guess had a little bit of fish. What Antagonist doesn't want to be doing now is engaging against skirms. But he didn't know there were skirms out. And, well, now Uzzi's chasing him down a little bit. If Uzzi kills off a couple more archers, he'll be very happy with this. It won't be a big army to deal with at all. Uzzi's dock is actually still there if he wants to make something, but... Antagonist fired, protecting. Uzzi will still go forward. Uzzi's so far from clicking up. The farms are going to last a long time, though. But, like, look at this. He's got 13 on berries. And now you need to know where to send them. You don't need gold. You need food. You don't have wood for farms. Just a sign that things were not as balanced as maybe he needed. He's going to head over there. If Antagonist can get Crossbow and Bodkin with a 3 or 4 minute Castle Age lead, he'll be extremely happy. That's still good for Uzzi. He gets another villager kill. But Antagonist is up. I'd be like, huh? He's in Castle Age? Like, what? I killed so much. There's no fish left? Like, Idaka's going to go down. And so now no sneaky demos can even happen. So Uzzi's got to leave the outside. He's got to leave that deer, bring back that food. Drop a tower on the gold because the gold could be exposed. He is housewalled like crazy. Just like the previous game. Antagonists will look for damage. Obviously isn't going to break through those houses. He could run by the mill, though. He could run right in towards the gold. I guess that's why the tower's there. Yep, he'll run past. But he'll have to turn around once he sees the tower. Now you want to pressure somewhere else. Because you can't tower everywhere. Unless you buy the stone like Uzzi just did. And honestly, Uzzi's okay. It's an uncomfortable situation, but he actually has a decent army. Khmer can balance things out, and this can be a bit cleaner here. Now Antagonist is sending another army to the other side. It takes a long time for this army to ever get anywhere else. To the left side. I guess Uzzi does have the stone available if he needs to buy. But not the game that Khmer really want. They want, like, tons of stable units. They want tons of farms. Mayans want range units and fast up times and ballistics and walls. Like, see how Antagonist can get some damage done here. For now, he's just sniping some farms. But my goodness, the difference in the Castle Age time is ridiculous here. I don't really have a full explanation for it. Mayan archers are cheap. Mayan resources last longer. Antagonist used the market earlier. He didn't produce skirms, didn't get armor as early. Like, Antagonist has ballistics, guys. So if he micros, he could take a lot of units out here. Also sniped a villager on the right side. Uzzi's trying to dive on this. He knows ballistics is in now, but he's just going to sacrifice some lives to get in close and get the kills. And well, I guess that's okay. Nothing's ideal, but that could have gotten worse if there was another follow-up army. Like, if that survived with this, it'd be a problem. Now he's finally in Castle Age. And now he wants a TC over here. Loses another villager on the farm. His farmers keep moving to this farm because they finished their other one. Uzzi, dude. This is not the location you want to be going. He is not expecting Antagonist to come back here. He doesn't have elite skirm coming in. The crossbows are here. The crossbows see the vills. 1 villager's down. Antagonist is locked in right now. 2 villagers down. Ballistics is in. His micro's just insane. Uzzi will do the same thing as before, though. He just dives. And Antagonist is running into the TC here a little bit. Okay, so Uzzi's in the game. Uzzi's in the game. This is something you could somewhat stabilize with. This TC gives you the wood line. It protects that whole area. Your gold's pretty safe. We'll add some scorpions. The second town center's up for Antagonist now. He'll shift the stone and save for a third. It does just feel like in the crossbow v crossbow battle, the Mayans always dominate, though. Because ballistics is in, and honestly, Antagonist is looking pretty sharp, so still Uzzi's got to balance out his eco. Someone asked you what Antagonist has up north. Here you go. Great mini-map awareness, though. Great mini-map awareness. So just keep an eye out for those turkeys. If he doesn't have the eco lead after killing 10 vills, he'll have the eco lead once those turkeys go home. Scorpions get their hit. Not bad. And so, yeah, it's getting increasingly difficult for Antagonist to actually do a lot of damage. And so if that's the case, you need to boom, and that's what he's doing. Now, Uzzi wants to sneak in here, get a counterplay. Maybe hoping to hit the wood line. It's kind of interesting he doesn't go for the deer. I think he just spots it now. But Antagonist calculated this. He had his army here. And he's able to save the vills. Yeah, his army was waiting until the TC was almost up. And now he knows the army's here. He does need to wall this, though. Uzzi sneaking a little bit. House walls from Antagonist. Town watch from Antagonist. He'll see the army. Ballistics is not in for Uzzi. So he doesn't kill too much more, and he'll get cleared up here. 50 vills versus 53. But, you know, considering the difference in castle age, maybe it could be a lot worse for Uzzi. It still feels really bad for him, though. I mean, he doesn't have any control over the game with army. He's going to play full Scorpion, it feels like. Antagonist just seems to have such a good flow to his eco right now. I think what he needs is a Siege Workshop kind of towards the front here. But with everything advancing forward, he might need that Siege Workshop defensive soon. The Khmer Scorpions with their 8 range mean you almost always need to add mangonels. 4th Town Center is an interesting choice. I mean, big economy. Military's been fine. Thank you, Dzod, for the year. Thank you, Arlaki, for almost 3. What's up, Victor? Sorry I missed the bits, man. I'm probably not for like 500 bits because I don't want things to be too spammy, but we do have text-to-speech on for donos at least, so I don't miss as many. Some people have finally been read at the exact time they send it in. So Antagonist is playing a really dangerous game here, especially with the choke points. You need mangonel, man. Finally, there's the Siege Workshop. Usually, Mayans are good enough. You can just make archers and make eco, and you never really have to switch. But, like, this is a time where you need to switch. And Uzzi is going to drop a castle on him. And this castle could go up. This is going to put Antagonist under a ton of pressure. He'll see it. He'll want to do something about it, but the mangonel's not out yet. Now, if he lands a direct shot on the mangonel, or sorry, on the Scorpions, there's a timing where he can maybe deny the castle, but it seems like it's tough to get over there. 85% on the mangonel. It'll eject to the left. The pathing might be weird. Castle's already at 65%. Honestly, if Antagonist would have gone for the timing on the Siege Workshop that I think he would normally do, this may just be game over. He lands the shot anyways. The castle was up. And the whole army for Antagonist on the left died. This siege goes down. He's under big pressure on his town center. That's a pretty big castle. And is he going to go imp? I mean, I don't know if it's going to work. But what would normally happen here is Antagonist is going to stabilize with a defensive castle and try and go imp to treb this down. But if Uzzi just has trebs way faster... I mean, Antagonist isn't going to know he's ahead by 20 vills. This could unravel pretty quickly. So, not the eco you would normally see imp with. 63 villager imp for Uzzi. Antagonist going up to imp, falling to the back right now. But yeah, he will want to defend and build a castle here and go for trebs. And Uzzi will actually be on trebs faster. That's crazy. That's really crazy. I would play Khmer like 4 TCs. 4 TCs, tons of Scorpions, tons of Mangonels, and then like my imp would be super late. I would never play towards the imp timing because it just doesn't feel... I don't know, it just doesn't really match the Khmer in a lot of ways. But this matches the state of the game pretty nicely. And I think Antagonist has been a little too greedy here. Just 4 TCs before anything but crossbows is on the map. That Mangonel's there a little bit faster. Castle maybe never goes up. Maybe we're speculating before game 3. But Antagonist has the stone. Antagonist has a crazy economy. He hasn't actually lost a lot of economy this game. And as the university will complete for Uzzi, probably for ballistics and chemistry. Antagonist is just waiting. I don't know. I guess maybe he sent his imp. Because he hasn't built his castle yet. It's actually... Oh, no, you cancel that one, dude. Nope. Yep. Maybe back that one up a bit. That's funny. Yeah, he thought he would just go up to imp and trev this down, and now he sees imp and he's like, yeah, no. But it's actually good that he delayed that. He saves almost all of his stone. He'll build a tower here. And that castle's kind of hard for Uzzi to get to. Uzzi can't really move out. He doesn't have an army to protect. Or a big enough army to protect his trebs for that big of a distance, so... He doesn't see the castle. This is the last series of the day. We have 2 more sets tomorrow, and there's actually a set near the end of this upcoming week. To the person asking, we had 3 sets yesterday, only 2 sets today. Love this from Uzzi. Again, I don't know if it'll work, but this is just how you need to play early Imperial Age with trebuchets. Just apply tons of pressure, more forward castles, and you just creep closer and closer to the opponent. It is risky, but if you're not constantly smashing the opponent in the face here, they will just beat you with a better economy and better archers. And so you can try and oversimplify it and look at the eco count, think about the Civ bonuses and stuff, but the reality is there's a castle on Antagonist's face, and that can mean bad things for him. And the castle from Uzzi, again, barely going to go up, but I think it will actually complete. It has to complete. He has no chance otherwise. It has to complete, and the Vills are so weak. 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 So weak. 97%. Huh? Huh? No! 99.32. That is 2 hammer hits away. Half a hammer hit away from completing the castle. I mean, castle was being trebbed already. So if it completed, maybe he wouldn't have had enough villagers to even repair it. But Antagonist holds. And his eco's working. His army count's working well. And even though it's been stressful, he's still maintaining that lead. That was... Well, that's the risk. That's what happens when you have... Well, you need more Vills, and... Look, the Vills are coming forward to finish the castle, and there's no castle anymore. Yeah, Antagonist is... I think he will feel very good with this, and have a little bit of relief. Because this got... He had a big lead, and then this got really awkward there. The 4th treb is on the way for him. Vills now have to come from the main eco just to repair this castle to hold it. Okay, this is where players need to be building stone walls in front of their trebs. I've seen a couple players do it, but I mean, I made a video on it, if you don't know what I'm talking about. A couple stone walls in front of the trebs that block the projectiles would be good in addition to the repairs. Doesn't really matter, though. An Antagonist, happy to just make his own skirms. Uzzi never has the eco to really switch out of ranged units now. It is only 2 TCs against 3 TCs still. And Antagonist can just patrol forward and pretty much win every fight soon, I think. But I like the attempt from Uzzi. I think whatever happened in Feudal Age, he kind of fell apart. But I did not expect him to have this much of an opportunity. So the forward treb idea was really solid. It just... He didn't have enough eco to keep up with it. And Antagonist not placing a very forward first castle was huge. This castle stood back here the whole time, never under pressure, and he could make the trebs. That castle just got destroyed by the trebs. So Antagonist loses an entire castle. He's running into skirms. Now Antagonist is going to send his trebs after Uzzi's castle. But there's not a lot of army here for Antagonist, and Uzzi just deletes that. So they both lose a lot of stone. I mean, I'll say this about Uzzi. He stays in it. Antagonist, I don't know if it's shakiness or overconfidence or what, but it is an interesting sign that Uzzi, at such a disadvantage, is able to still give himself some chances. I still just don't see it. Like, Antagonist is so good. His eco is so good. I think it's more the overconfidence than anything. He knows he's so far ahead. And he'll start to think about an eagle switch now, which would be devastating to Uzzi. I mean, Uzzi's got 15 on food. He can barely make skirmishers and villagers at the same time. 33 on food for Antagonist should be enough. And yeah, the Trebs are being used against the army. I love how we see that more now than we ever have. Even against the Mangonel. Like, that Mangonel is going to go down. It's normally how it goes. It normally gets hit by some random Treb shot. Oh, he's microing it. Nope, it goes down. And the Trebs are still up. The Trebs are going after buildings. The Skirms are still here. Skirms that could have the Mayan unique tech. They'd have an additional projectile, so they would be the superior Skirms. And Uzzi's just like, oh, God, oh, man, come on. Like, can I get it together here? But it just seems so bleak. So bleak. And elite Eagle Warrior on the way behind this for Antagonist. Yeah, a great response from him. Like, game number 1, he simply lost fights, but his eco was insane. He was so quick to town centers and the economy. This game, he won the first fights, and then his eco just flew. I think this will be the theme. I think if Antagonist has the ability to boom, he will outboom Uzzi all day. But Uzzi's going to send in heavy pressure every series he can, every game he can. And if it works, maybe he can make it. The elite Eagle Warrior upgrades in. Now, some upgrades and numbers are missing, but I mean, I think Uzzi's just fighting this out just to work it out of his system. But GG. Well played from Antagonist. Nice response. Someone asking what went wrong for Uzzi here. He invested way more into military. So if you just think about the total amount of military buildings that were active in feudal, he made 2 archer ranges and 1 stable, was producing out of both of them. And he didn't get the kills that necessarily made that worth it. I think Antagonist was pretty much just on 1 range military production. Most of feudal, he obviously had the starting barracks where he made an eagle and a spearman or 2. But Antagonist saved most of his res. I mean, this to me was a game where it was clear what Uzzi sets out to do, and there's also clear downsides to it. That berry situation where he's got like 12 on berries and then he just runs out. You do this because you are investing so much in the military buildings and the fights. And then if you don't win the fights, you get to a point where this happens, your eco's crap, and you're like, oh my God, how is he on the way to Castle Age already? So, yeah, that just... In the first game, Uzzi did a slightly better job at managing the fights. In this game, Antagonist, when he reached Castle Age, he did a lot. He didn't kill that many vills, but it had a ridiculous eco behind, so... And I can't say that's bad. Like, I can't say it's bad from Uzzi. I think the idea was there. That one fight that he took without fletching was really brutal. He could have taken better engagements in feudal with that upgrade. It's a clear approach from Uzzi, and he does this all the time. It's his playstyle, so it's just going to be how the series goes. Yeah, so just all the home maps for Uzzi are going to have to be maps where he gets wins. Good news for him, it's 1-1, and he's got both of them. If you think this guy goes for army numbers, you're going to see a whole lot more where that came from here. Here you can man-at-arm pressure the opening area. You can man-at-arm pressure the out area. You can play on water. You can play into archers. You can play into scouts. There's so much going on here. And it's really hard to just make one type of army and min-max your way to Castle Age on this map. You can get punished so hard. So Antagonist goes for the Armenians. Now, I wasn't expecting him to play Armenians here. And every time you see Armenians on this map, or every time I see Armenians on this map now, after watching some previous sets, I just immediately think about Longsword. There was the strategy from Dragonstar that I labeled the Thing. The Thing was kind of cool, where you just like full wall. He even walled this. He walled literally everything in a big circle, so he couldn't get hit on land, and then he just went full galleys to win water, and you just use the mule carts and could still take the wood and gold and stone pretty efficiently. But we've seen infantry a lot on this map, and Armenians getting longswords in feudal age is huge. So Uzzi has to go man-at-arms, in my opinion. I think he has to try and engage against antagonist man-at-arms in an ideal world, so they can't be upgraded to longswords. I think if he can find that engagement, that would be huge here. S6, thank you, man. I felt like it was a big issue to bring up, the whole smurfing situation. It's more complex than one video, but the thing that I really hate is I feel like important things don't get added or fixed with the game unless there's public chatter on it, aka chatter on social media, aka a creator brings it up and brings it to the forefront. I've tried to give internal feedback on certain issues for years and years and years and years and years, but very important things aren't ever addressed. So kind of my new philosophy is be nice about it, be respectful about it, don't be a jerk. I don't want to put unnecessary pressure on devs who, you know, are maybe told what they have to work on, but yeah, I'm gonna make some videos on it now and talk about things because that's been what has actually led to some change. So so that was the start. I'll probably make a follow-up at some point just because I think it's a really important topic, but obviously more complex than just everything there in that video. So Uzzi with a dock on the backside, antagonist the same, fairly standard stuff. They will almost always do this regardless of whatever their build will be. And antagonist should be actively scouting the front soon to look for a barracks. He's out here just finding an extra cow or two. Uzzi actually pushed in a deer, which is kind of uncommon. He didn't scout for the cows. I'm not sure if I like that. I guess if you don't find cows, then you're out of luck. But you get 140 food. You get 2 cows, that's 300. So it's really not a big deal, but it is interesting because most people have not been pushing deer. On the topic of things I'm opinionated about, by the way, I've always said for years when people were like, deer pushing's bad, make it so you can't push deer. I've always said for years, it's not a deer issue, it's a map issue. If you could lack scouting intel and sit there and push deer, it is because the map is lacking in some way. It's because the meta is too understood and because people already know what's going to happen, so they don't need the information. There's not enough gain in other areas of the map. This is a good map as an example of how important the scouting is. Actually, hold up. Guys, we talked about this yesterday. You probably don't remember I talked about it. This is a strat. You let someone else collect cows, and then you just patrol here and you wait for them to bring the cows. Now, there aren't any coming in from antagonists right now, except for this one. But that's funny. So that is maybe why he pushed the deer and didn't get the cows. He's being a cow catcher right now, and he's waiting for the cows. That's super cool. He's not going to get any, though. So antagonist didn't actually find that many. Also, antagonist did not build a barracks, and if you're Uzzi, you also need to be scouting the front. Like, to see if it's going to be man-at-arms, which it's not going to be. Antagonist, he does see the barracks. That tells him it's likely man-at-arms. Another thing we don't often see is we see Uzzi with an additional lumber camp here, and oh, he's bringing in the boar. Fascinating game. Damn, this is such a cool map. There's so many tiny little different things that can be done. So now I don't hate not getting the cows as much because he's got the boar. Plus he had the deer. Walls were not completed here. So the scout could go for the kill there. I'm not sure exactly why antagonist didn't. I think he was expecting... He's like, that was too easy. He's expecting that there would be some army coming. And he's looking for the man-at-arms right now, but he doesn't see him. Meanwhile, that's just a cow from Uzzi. Uzzi's looked along the front. Now, I think he saw the barracks late. So because he saw the barracks late, he might be really paranoid that there will be man-at-arms or something. But there's actually not. Antagonist is just playing in towards water and archers so far. Which, like, playing into archers to counter man-at-arms is really common on other maps. But there's a lot of different things to look at here. You got this to worry about. You've got your main base to worry about. You got your wood lines. This is tough. And the range could actually maybe be denied. He thought about a garrison there, but the man-at-arms just kept moving for Uzzi. Antagonist saw the second lumber camp here. It still might feel natural for him to move and try and deny this region at some point. But I have not seen a second lumber camp here like this before. At least not in a long time. To the 3 people who are talking about the video I made a topic on, which has a comment section where you can discuss this. Also, there were many posts about the subreddit about it. I would ask that you either have your conversation, move your conversations to DMs, or talk about the game. Thank you kindly. Sorry, but I'd really would prefer we talk about the games right now. Winner moves into Gold League. We've got man-at-arms destroying houses. Get hyped about that for me, please. Sorry about derailing, T90. I feel guilty now. Yikes. It's all right. No worries. As long as it's not a big deal, I ask you to change the subject. It's not a big deal you brought it up, dude. It's a chat after all, so. So far, it definitely feels like Uzzi's gotten what he's wanted here. He's made a lot of army really early. Even though he hasn't killed a ton, he's applying good pressure. He's going for that scout there. He kills the scout, so that's 2 kills for him. We do have the water to pay attention to. The repairs are coming in from Antagonist almost at the perfect time. And Uzzi will back away. But now we have the archer follow-up from Uzzi. So I really am surprised that Antagonist thought straight archer would work here. But then again, he really likes that. Right? That's what he did in the previous game. It worked really well for him. The big thing on this map is the wood spend. Look at the wood count. This is where you need to build a lot of farms. Maybe as many farms as Sharkfin just gifted subs. What in the world, Sharkfin? This is crazy timing. Thank you. But guys, we have another game, another situation where Uzzi can get damage in, but he didn't have fletching. He at least realizes here. He backs away. Dude, Sharkfin. That's ridiculous, man. Thank you so much. I'm gonna stay focused on the games here because this is a big moment. But I really appreciate that. Uzzi now getting the upgrades. This wood situation is painful for Antagonist. He's gonna have to move eventually. So he built a tower out here for like 5 ills. Then again, Uzzi hasn't really been out here for wood at all, and he doesn't have mule carts. So actually, the more I think about it, it's pretty even in that regard. Actually have 6 fishing ships out here for Uzzi. So that's an area he has a slight lead in, and he's moving back. He's moving forward. Antagonist had his army here before, but he's going forward for a counterattack, and the man-at-arms and the archers are here. Man-at-arms tank a little bit. Uzzi wants the villager kill, doesn't actually get the villager kill. And the counter-attacking army from Antagonist is going to have to come home right now and try and deal with this. To me, it still feels like Uzzi's doing a great job of controlling the game, but can he get those kills? Can he kill that villager? That villager that's on 1 HP. He gets it. Man-at-arms gone down. He only has 2 skirmishers in the group, so probably needs to back away. Market there for Uzzi now. He'll probably buy some food and think about Castle Age. There's still only 1 farm for Antagonist. And on water, he's starting to lose control. The fires from Uzzi, if they're on the correct side here, and they're not blocked by the dock, can get the kill anyways. But Antagonist will block with the fish. Blocks with the fish, somewhat blocking with the corner of the dock. Really good play there. The market's up. That will tell Antagonist that Uzzi was close to clicking up. And Uzzi will be up. Damn. I'm just a little bit surprised, guys. Like, I'm pretty in tune on player prep. And the majority of the players I know have been playing practice set after practice set, and that has oftentimes showed. He could still win the game, but I have found that Antagonist opening is way, way different than I would have thought for the matchup. And, I mean, he just tried to run through there and got punished big time. To me, Antagonist is not super comfortable with this map. The farms were very late. The expansion was very late. And maybe it's a style thing, but Uzzi, with Castle Age incoming, should be in a good spot as long as he doesn't lose his army before Castle Age. I still think the big question for Uzzi, too, is does he have issues out here? Because he's just now come out here. And, like, this hasn't been towered. This hasn't been pressured at all. Antagonist never looked here. But that's because he's been reacting to the man-at-arms the whole time. Nice fight from Antagonist. He'll be happy with this. It's just going to lead to a bunch of skirms from both. And honestly, Uzzi's already thinking about shifting into stables. He's got 2 stables now. The recovery from Antagonist on water is pretty sick here. Because the fish for Uzzi I thought would be safe. And even bringing the repair villager is pretty cool. I don't think that's a mistake. I think that's intentional. And it could be key to still pressuring on water. Uzzi's fishing ships have to move away now. But Uzzi has a fire galley on the fishing ships from Antagonist. Antagonist doesn't have any fires at home. So he realizes that. Uzzi's turn to try and save himself on water, but he'll lose that fire. He could lose his fish. And all of Uzzi's skirms just went down. And Uzzi does not have enough eco for a lot of nights. But even just like 2 knights into any area the eco could do a lot of damage here. Eventually, Uzzi needs to wall this. I think if Antagonist runs through, he will actually just wall it, and then they can't escape. He's sending the knights forward right now. Antagonist has no clue what's coming. He doesn't know knights are going to be coming through. He's running through with the skirms. Uzzi's trying to evacuate. I would be sending a knight over here. I'm sure he is. Uzzi's stabilizing on water. Most of his fish are still alive. It's inefficient, but still alive, and the knights are underneath the tower. 2 minutes away from Castle Age for Antagonist. He just didn't know. And kind of like in an Arabia game, you go ranged and you just keep making skirms, and you figure it out later. But in an Arabia game, there's not a lot of opportunity for tons of damage in different areas of the map. So this is not Jungle Swamp. This is not Arabia. The knights here are clearing up the skirms. The knights here are killing all the vills. Uzzi has massacred basically everything out here. He's still going to have water. He builds the second TC now. This is such a good series from Uzzi. Who, again, is like slower. He's like 40 average APM slower than Antagonist. He's not the #1 seed, but he is super well prepped. It's a really nice transition. It's still not quite GG. I definitely think it's like GG if you're Twitch chat territory, and we see that, but the Knights are going to stop here. He won't make that many more because his eco's weak. Antagonist does have good resources. It is a civ that can get help in Castle Age. He could probably make monks. He could probably boom. There's things that he could try. But yeah, Uzzi being faster at the second town center. Uzzi getting those kills. Very solid. Uzzi's fish still being alive. But it's a bit weird. I don't know why Uzzi's fires are here. It's like pressuring with the fires this way. Normally the fires would want to go back this way because this is where the Navy's going to come in. Maybe Uzzi's just kind of giving up on water. Yeah, freezing point, you make a good point. Like, you could go pikeman in feudal to hold there. Just feel like, you know, certain things, I'm just guessing. Certain things you encounter. We're talking some players have played 50, 60, 70, 80 practice sets. So the bar is, like, really high in terms of time investment. It's just not, for how good he is, not quite as quick to the transitions here. But let's see if he can stabilize it. and turn this around. This is actually a great map for Cav Archers. It's an incredible map for Cav Archers because you need mobility. Fortified Church on the outside. It gives you the free relic. Also protects the Vills. War Galley upgrades in for Antagonist. Who's taking out... He's taken out the fish already. There's 4 army for Uzzi. He's completely fallen flat on army. He's going to try and switch into skirmishers now, which is, of course, great against the Cav Archers. But he is not walled. And he doesn't have Bodkin. He doesn't have ballistics. He is going to get Bodkin now. I think he has just enough time for skirms. This would be a good opportunity for Antagonist to siege push. Siege push through the middle, and this gets really interesting. Oh! Uzzi put the demo on the crossing, and he kills 2 villagers with it. That's great. I just noticed he had a demo somewhere, was looking for it. Nice job. And Cav Archers for Antagonist can't really get to the outside easily. Actually, never mind, they can. But now they see skirms. The skirms I don't think he was expecting to see. He hadn't seen a skirm yet. But, I mean, now he could add his own demo here. Now he can add fish on water. Like, his eco can be pretty good, and these skirms can't chase now. It's annoying for Uzzi. Maybe these knights can deal with this. You could also siege pressure over here. But you'd have to protect your villagers coming forward. So that's kind of tough, too, because your Cav Archers are back here now. Uzzi rewalls the front. Uzzi saving for a castle right now. I think Uzzi might send his skirms forward and go forward castle. Because, like, you know he's on Cav Archers. A forward castle would be crazy. I mean, look at how open and exposed the eco is for Antagonist. But also, defensive castle allows you to play safer. And a castle over here, if you're going to get siege pushed, would also be really good. I don't know. You've got options. But, like, this isn't freaking play it safe time, man. This is send it. This is send everything you've got. And that's exactly what Uzzi's going to do. And if this castle completes, Antagonist is going to have to fully evacuate here. Look at him place the farms. Wait till the farms finish. 500 wood down the drain. The farms aren't all finished yet. That castle's going up, guys. There's nothing to stop this. Uzzi's playing so good here, man. Castle's going up. 11 villagers building it. There's no siege or anything for Antagonist. I don't know what happened to the Cav Archers, but they also been just kind of shooed away. Maybe they died to the knights and the camels. With this castle, you can take some of the golds. Maybe take the relics in the middle, too. And Antagonist is in rough shape right now. He's in really rough shape. I think his military and his score is because of the water, but the water only does so much for you now. He needs a big counterplay somehow. And I think that counterplay would be out here. Because you obviously can't take middle. And it almost feels like Uzzi expects that. He's like, okay, how can I lose the game now? I can lose the game if I get pushed out here. Drops the siege workshop. This is where a demo could be really strong for Antagonist. As these units have to cross the water. Antagonist sees the siege workshop. Antagonist builds his own siege workshop. Still only 11 eco behind, but the efficiency is going to be rough. The monk here, not quite ready. Gets picked off, and now the skirms and the knights and the camels are all going to be through here. If they could all just, like, loop around towards the siege workshop position, just to hold this position, clear this up, it could be really strong. Even just hitting the wood line is brutal right now. I will say this. Antagonist has now really gotten his groove onto the outside. He's got, like, the TCs down. He's taken the hunt. He's definitely turned it around. But not having anything here is going to be brutal for you. Now the siege hops out for Uzzi. Uzzi gets the repairs in immediately after landing the shot. Double siege workshop from Antagonist, though. And I think Antagonist does have the better micro. For Uzzi, it's always just numbers. And, of course, like, the timings on eco and stuff. He doesn't know it's double siege workshop there, but I think there might be enough army to dive and kill this. Realistically, at this level, I think the skirms go in, snipe the monks, and then the cav dives for the siege. He doesn't have all the information yet. Obviously, Uzzi wins this fight. He wins the game and goes up 2-1. Let's see. Siege is behind the church there. Antagonist sees the shot. Micros. The skirms are here too, though. And Uzzi will lose the siege workshop. Both players are on stone for a castle. There's only 4 cav archers and 1 monk in support of the siege. That's it. I think Uzzi can dive for it. And he does. And he's like, go ahead, hop out with your monk. Because if you do, I'll just use my skirmishers for it. He loses skirms, but the monk can't hang. And the siege gets sniped. And even if the skirmishers die, there's still enough skirmishers here from Uzzi. And Uzzi wins. Guys, Uzzi was so methodical about this. The man-at-arm opening. The follow-up to it is so much more military. And I think Antagonist is trying to think... He's like expecting the pressure and he's trying to just streamline 1 or 2 things. But there's so many complexities this map. Uzzi seemed to be really comfortable here. He played it like a home map. And Uzzi up 2-1. 1 win away from moving into Gold League. That's a 25k league with some really big names. It's like confirmed top 50 in the world, right? If you lose the series, of course, you're in Silver League too. But damn, I'm impressed with Uzzi right now. And I know this is a little bit overblown because people have a lot of repetitive clicks, but this is kind of rare, right? Once you get to the highest level, the dude who's like way faster with APM, usually they're able to use that speed and they're able to, you know, apply it well and it shows in the fights. But with Uzzi, it's the timing of the engagements. It's where he engages. It's what he's making. Every game, it feels like he's always trying to make something slightly different than the opponent. So, yeah, impressed with him so far. So, Antagonist has to win 2 straight. And we are once again on Zong, the map with the relics in the middle. On these little statues here. This map, you can produce priests out of a shrine. You cannot actually put the relics inside of these shrines. They're custom building. And it's only 75 gold for a priest that only has 5 range. So it is a lesser version of a monk. To bring anything out, you obviously need to chop through the trees. Both these civs are really good. Bohemians are good if they have time. Early chemistry, lots of gunpowder, great pikes against cav. But Malay, they're about not giving you the time. Advancing so quick through the ages. And when I see Antagonist play Malay, I'm confident in what he does. He did so in his round against Survivalist, and he just hit him so fast, and then he kind of played similar to game number 2. Just used the imp timing, played in towards archers and trebs. So Uzzi's going to have to be creative, I think, just to hold map control. Because I think if you hold map control, you then prevent that imp timing from doing as much. So I think Castle Age hand cannons could be really interesting here. Yeah, I think I would prefer the Malay. Just depends on how you play it. Calmix says, I don't have Prime, but I might have to sub. This is my 3rd stream, and the ads sometimes run for a long time. He says, I think you deserve a sub, but I'd rather do merch. I think it's a better percentage for you. T90 question mark. Calmic, I mean, if you want merch, there's going to be new merch soon and all that. But, like, also, like, buying merch doesn't mean you miss out on ads during the stream, right? So, first off, as far as split goes, if you subscribe, 70% goes towards the channel, which is a pretty fair split. Obviously, there's taxes and all that crap, but... I mean, merch, I don't know what the split is, but it might be less than 70%, because the company's got to produce it for me and ship it and all that crap, so I would... If you're wondering if it's a good support of the channel to subscribe, and if it's good for me, it absolutely is. It's also motivating for me. It's good. So I think it's good value for you to miss out on the ads and all that. But at the end of the day, up to you. But I just wanted to give you an answer there. Hopefully that helped. Calling taxes crap. Got to notify the IRS. No. I love taxes. Taxes are my favorite. No, I just, was mentioning how it works. Hate to do it, chat, but we had like no delays in between the sets. I'm gonna step away for a sec. We'll follow Uzzi's scout. I don't think too much is going to happen, so just give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. There is a chance there could be fast feudal here. I think the only civ that we would see fast feudal with would probably be the Malay player. And speak of the devil, that's what Antagonist is going to do. So at least Antagonist is probably going to make a priest. He's trying to chop this tree. 80 more wood left on that. So I think we'll see a priest on the way in a second. Uzzi could still happen, but this just feels like an uber fast castle into, like, I don't know yet, but monks or TCs or something. I don't think this is going to be exactly how Antagonist is going to play it. Yeah, my hands were washed, guys. Calm down. Might not have been for a full 60 seconds. I apologize. Tractor, thank you for the prime. Antagonist is up. Getting the wood upgrade, getting the farm upgrade. And even without making the priests, which he will do now, it's still a really good build. Because you just get those eco upgrades so much faster than other civs. To finish my thought, we were talking about like the merch and the sub and whatnot. So I say thanks for the primes a lot. The reason I do that is like 50% of people subscribe with Prime, right? But primes, I don't want anyone who doesn't have Prime because of regions or because how it all works to feel like bad or anything. Primes are good. It's a way to support for free if you have that option, if you have Amazon Prime. And Twitch doesn't exactly like let you, they don't necessarily remind you to because, you know, they're losing money, but a paid sub is usually better because primes, they I guess we're losing too much money on that. And so a paid sub is really good value at 70%. The way Prime works is it's based on your region. So they've made it region based, and I think like some of the highest ones would be like if you're Prime for subbing from the US. In the past it was $5. These days it's like maybe like $2.20 or something like that. You can look it up. But yeah, don't feel bad if you can't Prime. Feel bad if you're sitting on a Prime and you're not spending it because it's free. But on the merch thing, I would not do what you want, but I would not get merch from my current merch store because I'm switching some stuff over and I got some cool stuff coming. So if you're a merch guy, you should hear some stuff about that soon, I hope. Also, Relic is here, and you can't really see it. So hopefully Antagonist knows. You could, in-game, you could click, and you would hear it like we're hearing now. But it sometimes generates behind the statue. And there you go. Pull it out of the statue. Not bad, not bad, not bad. As I'm saying it, tons of people Prime subbing. What in the world? Guys, I'm so conflicted on it. Like, as a streamer, I don't like to be too repetitive because I'm online all the time, and I guess I hear every word that I speak. And if you guys are watching a lot, I don't want to be annoying. But the fact that we just got like 6 primes when I mentioned it a couple times tells me I really need to be saying it more. But again, I don't want to be annoying to the people who already are supporting and subscribed. So it's tough to find a balance. Nice job from Uzzi. He swoops in. He snipes the priest. And he's going to look for another one. He might lose his scout, though. I think he will kill and delete. Kill and delete. Delete. Huh? What? Does he Tootens? Is he freaking Tootens? I mean, that's obviously very nice value. And actually, there is a chance Priest is very scared. Priest is going to the left. Priest is veering off to the left. He zigged, and Uzzi thought he was going to zag. That's not bad for Antagonist. He should be able to get that relic back. Meanwhile, second TC for Uzzi, third TC for Uzzi. He's just going to go straight boom. So, my prediction here, I could be wrong, but I think the only way to play this from Uzzi's position is you get this eco cooking, all right? And you go for Castle Age chemistry. Because if you just sit here and you try and play into TCs and with no map control, the melee will have the relics, the melee will go fast imp, they will drop a forward castle, they'll pressure you before you can do a lot. But if you can, if you can get the university up, play in towards hand cannons, that can be a big surprise, but it is kind of hard to surprise someone when their scout is in your base. So, Antagonist sees that TC. There's no loom yet, so you gotta be careful. And Antagonist sees that TC. Yeah, running in there might actually be a mistake for Antagonist because his scout's a little bit weak. And Priest was just made. Uzzi fully heals up, and now Uzzi will go kill that. I guess Antagonist could bring a Priest forward to try and heal from the other side, but then he could just snipe your Priest. So you just probably lose this now. It's not a horrible thing to try. That is a weak villager there, too. Look at that guy. Look! Doink! Uzzi! Uzzi's going to be annoyed with himself there. He's got to know better. But hey, it's because he brought in the boar in a weird way. These days, you can just shoot it with the TC and still actually be okay. So you don't have too many villagers underneath the TC. Definitely something that could have been avoided, but such is life, right? Uzzi could have avoided losing that villager. And some people in my chat somehow avoided being dodged by all the gifted subs over the last 40 minutes. Basically the same thing, right? A priest is coming this way. Thank you, Slarty. Priest is coming this way to get some relics. I thought Uzzi was going to have no relics, but Antagonist lost his scout. And the scout is still there for Uzzi, so Uzzi might be able to get 2 of these back home. This one's sitting here. This one's sitting here. Sergeant says, wait, you can shoot boars with TC now and don't lose the food. Yeah, they made the change recently. I'm not a big fan of it. I think there should be a downside to it, but I'm not going to get up on my soapbox right now about it. So yeah, you can, as it stands, just shoot your hunt with your TC, and there's no downsides. So the fact that he didn't do that and had a super weak build looks a little bit worse with that knowledge. But it is just one villager, and one villager isn't going to change this game. Just like one relic isn't going to change this game. So I'm waiting for the university. Waiting to see the university. This is like my parents. My parents just kept waiting for me to go to university. But I'd sleep in, and I missed my classes so many times, and they were worried about me. Okay, we have a barracks. Now this could be spears. Maybe some spears for map control, maybe a bit of a siege push. This doesn't necessarily mean that we've got the chemistry option. But if you were to build the university and go for chemistry, this would be the time. Did you graduate? I guess it depends on your definition of graduate. Technically, I moved on from university. Do I have a degree? No. Did I waste a lot of money to find out I had no clue what I wanted to do and could not apply myself in school? Yes. So, if you were to slightly tweak the definition of graduate, you could say I graduated at being awful in university. It's just, life's all about perspective. And if you shift your thinking a little bit, maybe it's fine. Guys, I'm really liking, considering the Civ matchup, I'm really liking what we're seeing from Uzzi. I talk about how you need to take map control. Obviously talked about chemistry, but like, this is good. And he got map control with very little investment. He just has his starting scout that he's taken really close care of. So he's on 4 TCs with an incredible economy. Farms everywhere. We'll start to add some siege now. And this isn't going to end the game or anything, but Antagonist, he wants map control. He wants that like middle castle and then fast trebuchets. That's going to be tough now. He does not know what's coming out here. This will change Antagonist's thinking. I think Antagonist can tweak his build a little bit. He could deal with this siege push, but it'll probably just be a defensive castle. And here comes the Mangonel. Bad day to be a priest. Those guys were getting a little too much sunshine right there. Yeah, and now imagine Antagonist. He doesn't know what this means. Is this going to be a follow-up castle? Is this going to be a fast imp? He's going to rush imp to try and defend from this. And it's actually just a tiny little siege push. So, castle positions are pretty critical. And this castle now, it's just defending the area that Antagonist would have probably already had defended. A couple of villagers get sniped as well. It's just kind of an awkward situation, but castle will go up. Uzzi will click up to imp as well. Way later, obviously. The game's still really even. Antagonist has to win this game. Tara's Maze, welcome to the channel, says, new from YouTube. Watch the videos, The Legend of... I guess, like, all the Legend videos. It says, love the content. I have zero knowledge of AoE, but I'm close to installing it and becoming a contender for one of the videos. Salutes in chat, please, for Terrace. Welcome. Thanks for making it all the way to the stream. That's really cool. That's super cool to hear. It's a bit of a jump to go from videos to a live stream. It's a little bit of a jump. So, that's cool. Thank you. Okay. Welcome to the live stream. We just crashed. No. What was that? Everything stopped for a second. We're back. We're back. Everything's good, right? Yeah, everything's good. Guys, don't say F if I didn't actually drop, please. Seriously, that stresses me out. Crossbows are moving forward with the... some imp upgrades on the way. They run right into the mangonels. Not exactly how Antagonist would have drew it up, but he will snipe a mangonel. He does still have a lot of army coming. And Uzzi still isn't in the Imperial Age. Malay are just insane. Like, this is a game where Uzzi's played really solid, and still the Malay imp timing just smashes you anyways. He's trying to get skirms out. The ranges are maybe in the wrong location, but he does have more ranges back here. And he'll go skirms. And hand cannons. The skirms and hand cannons could be a good comp, but here comes Antagonist. Just drops a castle immediately on the archery range. Now, if Uzzi can make bombard cannons right away, this could be solid for him. There's also a slight chance he can deny this. I think there's enough going on here where he can't take the villagers and the army, and you're always going to want to take the army here so you don't lose all your army. Hand cannons in the back. We'll take down the karambits, no problem. That's a nice move. First bombard cannon's already on the way for Uzzi. Antagonist already has chemistry, so he can also go for bombard cannons. This is going to be all about the bombard cannon micro. Guys, look at Antagonist. Outpost on the left side. Vision everywhere. Outpost on the right side. He has exploded with map control here. So he turtled up, but now he's just looking everywhere, and this map is so much about the middle position in these golds. Looking really sharp right now. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be largely down to the micro now. I just feel like it's easier for Antagonist to stabilize from poor engagements because he has the map control. And it's so... Uzzi's got more pressure on him. So things like this can happen, and that just cannot happen. Bombard cannons are too expensive. Antagonist has another bombard cannon coming. He also has another siege workshop for more bombard cannons coming. Hoofneats is pretty expensive, but if you can get there, it can be a big step up here for the Bohemians. Maybe Uzzi's trying to save for that. He's getting raided on the left side, too, by some random karambits. It's so frustrating. It's so annoying. And those raids just distract from the bombard cannon micro more than anything. It's not really about the Vil kills. There are trebs there from Uzzi, though. They're hitting the castle, so the more you repair this castle, the less stone you're going to have for future castles on the map. The trebs might need to go for the bombard cannons, though, because they're going down otherwise. The castle's still being repaired, and the bombard cannon micro from Antagonist is just so good. It's just so good. Siege Engineers is on the way for Uzzi. And 10-year-old me, when I would have played this game, never would have thought that these little cannons with these tiny little dudes with these tiny little legs would be so important. But they're so valuable. I would have been like, longbows. Longbows are insane. Teutonic Knights. Cataphracts. Not bombard cannons. I mean, Siege Engineers is in right now for Uzzi. Look at this micro. Crazy micro with the cannons. And the skirms are on the front. Treb goes down. But the crossbows go down. And Uzzi's still holding on. Just like one misclick. And you lose all your bombard cannons here. Also, Wagenburg Tactics isn't in. That makes the bombard cannons faster. That's a really nice upgrade Bohemians need to get. Clearly hasn't thought of it. Siege Engineers as well. Siege Engineers is a big upgrade. And 2 bombard cannons down for 1. The Siege Engineers is actually in already for Uzzi, sorry. But it's now in for Antagonist as well. And Antagonist has such good map control here. Might need some repairs on his bombard cannons. He loses 1. And the others are very weak. By the way, the red dots in the middle are just outposts, so it's not really that big a deal. The dots over here, we got some skirm raids. That is kind of a big deal. There's nothing over there. Uzzi is now out of gold. The only gold income he would have is actually this gold over here. He has no map control. He has no gold. The bombard cannons, the bombard cannon count isn't enough. The skirmisher count isn't enough. His trebuchet count isn't enough. An Antagonist can see the whole map. And if he can just stabilize his mind a little bit here, he should easily be able to just shift over to this gold, deny that. Maybe drop a castle there or something. And then take us to game 5. Yeah, he's sending karambits over. There's no better unit than that to just quickly spam over there. Antagonist is actually low on gold too. I think because most of his gold miners were in the middle, but that's solvable. These vills will head over to this gold. He's got the map control. Panic Castle from Uzzi on the side. It might go up because karambits don't do a lot of damage. But even his main base is still under so much fire, under so much threat. And I would actually just make some trebs for this. If this castle completes, just get trebs over there. This is going to game 5. Bombard cannons for Uzzi go down as he tries to defend from this or from this. I'm not sure, but let's go. 2-2. Next game decides who goes to the 25k gold league and who goes to the 10k silver league. Damn. Really impressive from Antagonist. I actually felt like he used the melee timings perfectly there. And I was impressed with how Uzzi played. I thought the Siege Workshop was a good move. It forced this castle, which is not what you want. It was like Antagonist moved out really fast, placed this castle almost immediately in Imp, and was very quick to his own bomber cannons and trebs, and he just held the middle. And so that's why maybe you can do a little bit more for map control. Like if you add hand cannons or something, as weird as it sounds, there's some memories of someone going hand cannons and siege tower against the melee to just like get into their base before they fully cook up like that. But yeah, I just felt like with how Antagonist tends to play that he would use the timings perfectly with the melee. He did. And we move on. I think game 5 is on Cross, which is Uzzi's home map. Lots of multitasking. Very similar to Evacuation, I'm guessing, in terms of the approach. So game 5, we just talked about it. There's some people who are watching some ads. Didn't hear my take. Everyone on YouTube didn't hear my take. So I was just saying that, like, with how this series has gone, and let's keep in mind this is Uzzi's home map, Uzzi has thrived on his home maps and lots of army numbers. This map's about sneak docks, lots of military numbers, lots of craziness. So for that, I like Uzzi. But Antagonist has had this issue when in his losses where he never takes the initiative and he sits back and he reacts to the opponent. And he's got Japanese now. And there's like no better civ than like opening with fast man-at-arms with some fish behind and taking the initiative. Georgians, they're good civ. I think they could be a very good civ with this map, but like they don't take the initiative. So you would think that Antagonist would realize now, like he's got Ascended, game number 5, and we see a little bit more aggression from him here. So let's see. So they've kind of spawned north and south here, and the pawns that they'll take is in the respective corners. Golds kind of form this weird line. Look at this line here. So this is one of the additional golds for Antagonist long-term. This is one of the additional golds for Uzzi's long-term. So it feels like this middle-ish left area of the map is really valuable. And there's also a hill next to each main gold on both sides. Very balanced map in that aspect. And let's not forget, they do also have, if they want another gold, that is around. So it's not like they'd have no other golds. But that's just something to keep in mind in the mid-game. Fishing ships will be coming out in the ponds. I think the best way that you could play Japanese on this map is to open man-at-arms and to sneak vills. Like, forward villager onto the opponent's pond. You also don't have to worry about anyone taking your pond with the Japanese because your fishing ships are really tanky. So even if you get surprised on your pond, you're like, oh, okay, I could deal with this because my fishing ships never die. Japanese are insanely strong. But Georgians are nice. Georgians, you can get the docks up a lot faster because you start with that free mule cart. I think the way I would play Georgians here is I would open archers because you're expecting the man-at-arms. There is possibly an argument to open with your own man-at-arms. You're not an infantry civ, but you will maybe then have the same ability to be aggressive against vills. And at the very least, maybe match the Japanese. Because if you kill off their man-at-arms with a fast uptime, then I like Georgians. So, we'll see. I like this wood line. I think this wood line's very nice for Uzzi to go for some walls. I think he's going to make a little bubble wall, keep his wood line safe. That's similar to what Antagonist is going to try. The wood line won't last as long. But I also like the base structure for Antagonist if he wants to go for a big circular wall here. Protect the gold. Feels a little bit easier. This gold feels like an eyesore. Feels like a tough thing for Uzzi here. I think players should be scouting for the pawns now. I'm actually nervous for them. Again, coming into this, Antagonist 30th in the world in ATP, which is tournament points. So that falls into the category of gold. Gold is 25th to 48th in the world. Because you've got the top 24 in plat, the next 24 in gold. So winning this would put him into that category where all the other tournaments have said that he belongs. Uzzi's at around 55th, which is like 7 or 8 spots outside of where technically gold would fall. I would have said Uzzi feels like a player who performed very well in silver. Antagonist feels like a player who'd be like mid, lower in gold. So Uzzi's impressed me today. Win or lose here, he has played really, really sharp. And if he wins, I'd love to ask him just how much time and energy he's put into it. I'd love to ask Antagonist the same. Antagonist lost a sheep over here. And we have a middle barracks from Uzzi? Bro, this guy's insane. Antagonist finds his sheep. This guy's insane. I love this crap. He is showed up to make it messy today. I don't know if it'll work. Arbase says, why just build it at home? I'm going to show you why, Arbase. Because no one expects man-at-arms from Georgians, because they're not a man-at-arms civ. And Antagonist is going to scout the base, and he doesn't see anything. So he's already scouted the front. You would see the barracks. He would know about it. He'd be happy with that. He would not be surprised. Because you don't see the barracks, you don't wall your gold. You don't approach the game in the same way. And I think this is actually going to be for a forward range as well. Or a sneak villager. Villager's on the move. I think Antagonist wants to play Man-at-Arms, he wants to play with a safe pond, and he wants to play archers. He loves his archers. And Uzzi sees the barracks. Sees the 4 militia, knows it's coming. Already walling up the gold. Has the wood line kind of walled up as well. Antagonist is scouted pretty actively. He doesn't see the barracks. This will be a surprise to him. He doesn't know what's coming. There is a villager sneaking there. And there's a scout here that is going to hit the gold as militia come through. This was never, ever, ever going to happen if that's not a sneak. But nice micro so far anyways. You still get pushed off the gold, though. You still get pushed off the gold. Over here, Uzzi needs archers ASAP. Antagonist doesn't see the dock. No one sneaks a vill against Japanese. Sneaking a vill against Japanese is like... I mean, I can't think of anything. But he actually can't make a fire galley because he's off the gold. He's off the golds, guys. He can't make a fire galley to defend his fish. Uzzi could have some issues as well, but... By the way, Uzzi didn't take his boar, so it's not like life is great for him. But his pond is safe. There's no sneak whatsoever. He's just attacking the mining camp. I don't know if it'll work out, but I love the opening so far. Antagonist is adding fish! He is adding fish in this pond where there is an enemy dock. That's crazy. He just never expected it. He's instinctively like, add fishing ship behind, make archers, and adapt right now. That's it. All his instincts are telling him that. But he had to shift over to this gold first. There's a lot of things happening. He did cancel the fishing ship. He is making a fire. Uzzi's man-at-arms are still going to loop around. Uzzi was kind of late to his own archers, honestly. And I think Arson might be in. Japanese man-at-arms are ridiculous. Arson's not in, and the houses are still going down very quickly. If this house goes down, it's awful for Uzzi. There's a skirmisher there. It's going to go down. It's gonna go down. And the units are through, and Antagonist is able to hold on. Now there's villagers going down here. Game 5, dude. Game 5. So many villas are gonna go down. Quick walls from Uzzi, though. He gets the houses down. He gets some crazy damage in. He kills how many? 4 units on the wood line. And he's on the water still. And he's got some archers, and he's got some skirmishers here. 5-0 eco KD for Uzzi. He's going to aim to trap this army. That's a death sentence right there. That's ambitious. But I guess it's too tempting. He had to try it. Honestly, his eco's super idle, though. Lots of vills garrison. Lots of bad things happening. Didn't end up killing any fish. So, it's not as if this is just over. Antagonist still, with good archer count, still is his man-at-arms. So, he still has all that firepower. Antagonist also chasing down this villager. And might end up killing this. Uzzi needs a quick wall, and Uzzi gets it. Wow. Well, Uzzi had it. And then the fire hit it. And now he gets the quick wall. Damn! Damn, that was crazy. Also, he preemptively towered this gold. So the gold is protected. But he's got a lot of other issues. Also, he almost lost a villager to the boar that he was trying to bring in because he forgot it. Boar's almost dead. He's still bringing it in now. Antagonist looping around with his army here. Antagonist pond is safe for now. We haven't seen any expanding to other ponds yet. Oh, my goodness. The multitasking is off the charts right now. I think Town Watch... Town Watch would be a really big upgrade right now, so you're not surprised. And Uzzi is again late to fletching with range units. If he had fletching right now, he'd be fine. But he doesn't have the blacksmith yet. I'd like to see Antagonist snipe that unit with an archer so that villager just goes down. But he's still applying as much pressure as possible. And the blacksmith isn't even up for Uzzi, which is pretty crazy. You'd expect the blacksmith to be up right now, but it's not. There's 3 fires up here, so I think with 3 fires, Antagonist will be fine on water. And Antagonist just able to keep those man-at-arms alive, and the inefficiencies to Uzzi's economy has been very clear. Look at the worker efficiency overall, but also last minute at the bottom of your screens. Like, this is a map where KD is not everything. Like, eco KD is definitely not everything. Just having that be a one-and-done fight, you kill the man-at-arms and then they're out of your way is really nice. Oh, demo could hit. Oh, and the fire's kind of behind the dock there, so you can't really engage against it. And now the villager's coming out. That 1 HP villager who's still alive is somehow wedged in there repairing for her life. Antagonist is trying to get to her. And Antagonist is going to be fine. Okay, she's dead. Fire's gone. Uzzi getting fletching now. Antagonist falling back with his range units. Antagonist was able to stabilize and take this gold. He doesn't have stone for a tower. He sold his stone with the market. He wants to click up here, and he will click up. Damn. And just that much of a difference in the uptimes could make all the difference in a game like this when the bases are so exposed. With the berries and the wood line, everything could just be destroyed here. What Uzzi really needs, he needs to fight right now. What Antagonist needs to do is Antagonist needs to stay away from these skirms. He can never move out. So, I mean, maybe they can think about expanding to another pond, but I think this is so intense right now, they might just focus up on the micro and be happy with one pond. It'll take long-term payoff. Okay, Antagonist is actually over here. He just checked the shoreline. Checked the shoreline, didn't see a dock. Is going to be up to 3 or 4 fishing ships, so that's good. I think Uzzi needs to be moving out right now. Uzzi does not know his opponent's up to Castle Age faster. This is definitely better for Antagonist. And this will be a conversation we have if Antagonist doesn't win the game with this attack. But with his archer micro, with these resources, if he goes crossbows and siege on the front here, Uzzi's going to have some big problems, man. Yeah, there's the dock. Does Antagonist see it at all? He doesn't. But any other civ, you have bigger problems when you get surprised on these pawns, and he's Japanese. Here comes the Antagonist. Upgrades coming in. Units moving forward almost instantly. Uzzi will see the man-at-arms. We'll see the archers. Has to leave. Has to buy time. He runs towards the army now. He runs towards the army. Deletes his walls. Damn, that was impressive. He actually got 2 kills out of that. Obviously still needs to run. Food is actually the biggest issue for Uzzi right now. He's going to dive at the army. He wants to kill, but upgrade difference is too big. Now he needs to wait for Elite Skirmisher. He added a fishing ship on the right. He'll also add fire galleys. Antagonist hasn't noticed. He's also going to add fire galley on the left. So it could be 3 pawns for Uzzi if he can hold and stabilize. Ballistics is already on the way for Antagonist, followed up by a siege workshop and a mangonel instantly in the middle. Uzzi's got a hold. This is a lot of military focus for Antagonist. Church is nice. It increases the work rate, but it also allows you to hide. Also fires some arrows, but it's still just... It's not a sign that things are really going as you would like if you're Uzzi. Antagonist should see the skirms and back away now. Eco is really fragile at the moment. For both, but definitely for Uzzi. And this is the time of the game where you start to lose control of your fish. You start to run out of fish. And then you need 100 wood per fish trap, which feels impossible to get to right now. So I'm curious. I think if Antagonist just fish booms in the north, that'd be a really nice position for him. Uzzi needs his own siege. This is going to get out of hand fast. He actually doesn't even have an armor upgrade for his skirms. So the skirms will get flattened by mangonels, but they'll actually get focused down by crossbows. Losing the blacksmith is going to be painful here. Such a nice job from Antagonist. He lost like 4 vills on his woodline. He got completely pushed off of gold. So many things happened that he was not prepared for because of the sneakiness from Uzzi. And it just has not mattered. He's been able to just get to this state of the game and just start pushing this hill anyways. And if he sits on this hill, he'll nuke the stable. He'll nuke the market. Misclick, sorry, but I think he noticed this now. I don't know how big a deal that really is. When the crossbows and the mangonels could maybe just finish the game, I would put all my focus here. Uzzi's going to counterattack with the knights because he can't really use them against this. But there's already a TC for Antagonist protecting the gold, and that's exactly where Uzzi was going. Dude, he's just melting him, guys. He's just melting him. Blacksmith is down. Have to build a new one. Stable's gone. Market's gone. TC is next. Uzzi needs his siege to save the day here. Or the knights to maybe get some counterplay. This would be the time. Look at the timing here. The knights go in, and at the same time he's got the siege. He's trying to pull his opponent out of position. Antagonist knows, though. Antagonist is still full focus on the front. He's dropping a TC. He's sending some crossbows back. That's really nice priorities from Antagonist. Let the villagers die. You don't want your army to die yet. That was really sick play from Uzzi, too. Like, that timing was like textbook. Looks like he did just lose a mangonel. Crazy. Crazy multitasking. I mean, it feels weird, but I guess you can kind of give up this TC. And as long as Antagonist can't push much further, maybe you're still okay. The scouts are getting some kills. There's still a big chance for a turnaround here. Oh, big shot from Uzzi. Remember, Uzzi's... he's active on this pond. I don't know if he'll take it, but he's killed some things. He gets another kill. What is happening, guys? Antagonist is adding farms now. Antagonist is switching his eco up a little bit. Antagonist loses another mangonel. Uzzi holding on. This is why I say this is one of the best maps in AoE, because it's strictly... it's just because Antagonist has to manage a little bit more eco now. Just a little bit more eco. Had to clean up a knight. Uzzi kills his own villager. We're not going to talk about that. But he's kept his TC up. He's balanced out his res. He's made more stables for some knights. And the pressure is mounting for both. Holy crap. Antagonist is 0 on food. 0. He misclicked. Okay, he's not getting the food there. He lost his fishing ships over here, and he has no food over here. Missed some knights going down to the crossbows there. Yeah, food eco for Antagonist completely fell flat. He went heavy on wood and heavy on gold for crossbows and siege. He has 3 mangonels in queue. Oh, man. 3 mangonels in queue. Also, 0 eco upgrades for Antagonist. Holy. I mean, there's no farms for Uzzi, but he's added fish traps. They're not, like, the most efficient fish traps, but you don't have time for efficiency here. What a game. I love how Uzzi is just going to sit on the hill with his siege, because the hills are so valuable, and he's going to counterattack with his army. When you're up against siege and crossbows, your own siege can counter both those things. And the micro's there. Antagonist saw it, though, and Antagonist can get 2 kills. Boom! Boom! He gets 2 kills. He'll keep his siege alive as well. He can maybe take the hill. But now the army from Uzzi is going to be at his base. What a game, dude. What a game. And he doesn't have a big answer to this because his siege is forward. So what do you do here? You continue your push, but that's risky. To be running uphill against the siege workshop is crazy, but he might just send it here. He's going to have issues at home. He might just try and push the whole way through. The mangonel's out. The micro from Antagonist is unreal. He split immediately. The repairs from Uzzi. And Uzzi's getting some kills. There's still the other army. Antagonist gets the kill. The army's going to be through. Oh, man. I mean, Siege Workshop is still there. This can happen again. Antagonist feels like he's out of ideas because this army's here. He doesn't want to run back. He wants to force the issue. Mangonel hops out. Antagonist loses his Mangonel. Uzzi holding. Uzzi's in the back. Idols everywhere right now. Most intense game of the series by far. Game 5. Winner into the 25k league. Loser into the 10k league. The difference that one game can make. Holy. I really just got to check farms now. There's 12 farms. There's 12 farms. That's crazy. Resources collected is like identical. It's like 20k versus 20.2k. My God. I mean, eco upgrades are better for Uzzi. But he's behind in the TC count. Damn. But I think his position's better than Antagonist because Antagonist is stuck on crossbow mangonel and he's chasing. But then again, the skirms don't actually have armor. I think the crossbows can actually kill all of this. Uzzi will see the army now. He'll be happy it's not getting pressured for once. And he'll just run away and be happy this army chases. So this is what Antagonist didn't want because now he could get hit on the left side. A bunch of different things can happen. Chasing with crossbows and mangonels is a really annoying feeling. But pushing that hill seems impossible right now. And let's not forget the gold positions, guys. This gold here, this gold here. This is going to be a pretty long game. Those golds could be really valuable. Look at that long wood line that Antagonist has had to run around and now path all the way back. It's going to be so annoying to get all your units back again. Uzzi sees the lumber camp. Uzzi's got enough for a castle. Is he going to forward castle right now? Yeah, he's got the army out of position. This is why Antagonist went crazy to force the issue here and not chase. Because the second you try and chase a player, they're going to do something wild here. But this is still, I mean, a really risky castle. This is a castle that could easily get denied. The army is on the way. Uzzi's going to build it on his face. On his face. With 9 villagers. Can we bring a few more villagers? Bro. Guys. Why are we bringing 9 villagers? Bring like 20, man. Bring your whole community. The Antagonist is going to dive this. He has to dive this. He has to stop this. The knights are here. There's only one mangonel. Yeah, the knights will dive for the siege. Why not? Dive for the siege. Take the siege. Give yourself time. Villagers, build! Build the freaking castle, you idiots! Okay, he took down the siege. I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry. Obviously, it was a misclick. Big shot there from Antagonist. Castle's going to be up on his face. Castle is going to take down a TC. He is now out of gold, except for these 2 tiles. This is so tough to play. And Uzzi's on the way to Imperial Age. They're both on the way to the Imperial Age somehow. My goodness. Okay, so in Uzzi's position, he can honestly just play Skirm and Treb and he can win. But he needs more Skirms and he needs more upgrades. From Antagonist position, I'm not so sure. He's got an army he still can't deal with over here. He's building a panic TC over here to get a little bit of extra gold. And he does know about these 2 tiles. There are some available neutral golds over there. But like Uzzi has consistently played with such like crazy sneakiness and confidence with his armies. He's going to loop around with the knights now. And he knows the gold situation. 100%. Not easy to focus on. But look, you see this little partially built lumber camp, and you know that your opponent is trying to expand over here now because you're pressuring the left. So that might be his next focus. I mean, you're just denying a lumber camp, but still, that makes you feel pretty confident. I think he needs outposts. I think he needs outposts over here, and this is a lot on stone for Antagonist, and it's still a really good army. Like, that's a lot of crossbowmen against very low numbers of skirms, so they could still get better fights than we would be expecting normally. Needs to be more skirmisher production and more archer ranges from Uzzi. He does have 3 now. It seems obvious, but like when you have so many different things to focus on this map, it's so hard to be super hard focused on like gold and stones and stuff. It feels like Uzzi's whole game plan has just been deny the gold, take him off of gold. And yeah, he takes out the siege. He sees the villagers on stone. He's got fully armored skirms. He's got a lot of them. He denies the stone. Antagonist can't get to a castle easily now. They're both in imp at the same time. Antagonist's army is all dying. This is the only army that he has. And Uzzi does it. Crazy performance, man. Antagonist is so good. And it's a bummer for Antagonist, obviously. But Uzzi's preparation pays off. And he makes it to gold. A 25k league for Uzzi. And man, did he come with a plan in every game today. That was sick. That was sick. It's just so freaking clear that he's been prepped. So freaking clear. And Antagonist, I'm sure, prepared, put a lot of time and energy in. He will be gutted here. Again, he's had such a good year. According to tournament results, he was the favorite coming into this, but just minor things in every single game. Man, what a finish. What a hold from Uzzi. It looked so bad early Castle Age. So freaking bad. But he was able to snipe some fish over here. He was able to hold. The counterattacks were really, really good. And then the forward castle as well was crazy. But the forward castle doesn't happen if he doesn't go for the counterattack and defend with the siege there. The forward castle is a result of him, as I like to say, take control back in the game and like using his armies well. That was so good. We might be able to get Uzzi in an interview here. I'm not too sure. We're going to ask every winner to hop in for an interview, but he might be not able to do so. I'll find out in like literally 10 seconds, but my God, that was so well played. I can't imagine. My heart's beating like crazy right now. He did a great job with his eco. He added fish traps a little bit faster. He added those farms. He expanded to this pond, I guess, a little faster. But still, Antagonist just took out the entire front of his base. He just couldn't push any further. Damn. I think Uzzi seems to be in an interview channel. So let me hop in.
Más o menos, pero solo si habla un poquito lento. Si hablan muy rápido, a veces no. Oh, sorry.
Hola, amigos. No habla español.
Hola.
I assume since you're in the interview channel, Uzzi, you are ready to be interviewed. Would you like to use Petito to translate, or are you okay with some English?
I understand, but if you speak a bit slow.
Sure. Your English is already amazing, so please don't feel bad. Your English is great.
Thank you.
How are you feeling right now after that series?
I'm so happy, really happy. I lost the last 2 years, so winning now and being on the Gold League, it's amazing for me. It's my goal for this year at least, so I'm very happy.
Okay. I mean, I forgot about that. I think last year you were very close, right? I think you maybe lost in the 5th game in a best of 5 to get into gold. Is that correct?
No, I think I lost an round before the final.
Okay.
Versus Stone, please, I guess.
Yep.
I don't remember very well, but yeah.
Amazing. So you said this was obviously your goal. When you saw the group and all the players you would have to go through, what was your confidence like on your chances at winning and getting to gold?
I think 50-50 because I get 2K6 recently, so I was not scared about facing Antagonist, the best player of my bracket, sorry.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I can win against him. And later on the practice games, I beat good opponents, like finalists of the bracket, so I get confident, against him.
Did it help you to have the previous series also go to 5 games and be really intense?
To be honest, I think I will win against Nawel 3-0, but I don't know. When I play on Brazil, I feel like very slow, so yeah, I feel like I play bad. So
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Roughly speaking, because I'm always talking to people. I obviously like play you on the ladder. I could tell when people are in good shape. I know that you were training. I don't know how much you were training. If you had to guess roughly how many sets, how many games you put into preparing for this, what would you say?
Maybe 3 per week. So like 12 sets, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe more, even more. Yeah.
And this is like basically starting right before the bracket began, essentially.
Yeah, when the bracket came out, I started to play against
Okay. Yep.
other players from other brackets. Yeah,
If you had a way to describe your play style, what would you say?
I will say aggressive. Maybe I
Ag-
like to take the map control and pressure my opponent. So yeah, maybe
Okay.
that.
Yeah, that's how I describe it because what I told viewers, you were obviously playing, as I said, Uzzi likes to make a lot of army.
Yeah.
Like you always have like 2 or 3 or 4 more military units than most players have at any given moment, I feel. And you certainly did that in all your wins today. Um, man, I don't have many more questions. Actually, one final question. It's kind of a crazy thing, right? You're happy and so excited that you've qualified. You're going to make it to gold, but now you have to look at the players that are in gold. Um, and that's a whole different league, literally, right? Yeah, Kapoch, Dogao, Doubts, Daniel, Veleza, Kazva, Ganji, the list goes on. So, how are you feeling about playing in gold in a group stage format? How do you think things will go?
Hmm, I feel good. I really think that I can do a proper um how to say performance. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, this week I lost to Viles 3-2 on Thalassocracy Cup.
Yep.
So I think I'm improving a lot because Sito is helping me to correct my mistakes. Big thanks to him. And yeah, I hope I can do well on the gold.
Okay. Cool. You said it was Sato.
Yeah.
Sato. Nice. Well, Sato's obviously a beast.
Mhm.
I know you probably played lots of practice sets with different players as well. So awesome stuff, dude. I'm really happy for you. I think most of my viewers are probably only English speakers, but if you wanted to say anything in Spanish to any viewers, feel free. I don't know if you need to, but have at it
Thank
if
you.
you want to.
Yeah, I want to give thanks to my team. I will say in Spanish. Gracias a todos mis amigos que me estuvieron apoyando, a Serenata principalmente, a mis amigos más cercanos, Sam, Convito, Cami y Good Boy. Se agradece todo su apoyo y pues a darle. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone for watching, supporting Uzzi. Uzzi, looking forward to see you in gold, dude. Keep it up. And I agree with you. I think you can do very well in Gold League. You deserve to be there.
Thank you.
Okay, see you.
See you.